Welcome to our deep dive into dark psychology, the practical uses and best defenses of psychological warfare in everyday life, by James W. Williams. If you've ever felt like someone's pulling the strings in your life, making you act against your own interests, or if you simply want to understand the hidden forces shaping human behavior, this video is for you. Today, we're unpacking the key insights from this fascinating book, which explores the shadowy world of manipulation, influence, and psychological tactics. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge to recognize and protect yourself from manipulative strategies, not to use these insights for unethical purposes. This is about building mental resilience and reclaiming control over your decisions in a world full of subtle persuaders. James W. Williams, a best-selling author known for his work on confidence, emotional intelligence, and communication, brings a unique perspective to this book. Having overcome personal struggles with shyness and social anxiety, he's dedicated his career to understanding human behavior and helping others navigate its complexities. In Dark Psychology, he takes readers on a journey into the darker corners of the human mind, revealing how manipulators exploit vulnerabilities and offering practical tools to defend against them. The book spans 5 key areas, each shedding light on different facets of manipulation and influence: the duality of personality, the psychology of criminal behavior, financial manipulation, marketing tactics, and strategies for self-protection. Let's explore each of these, weaving together the book's core ideas with real-world applications to help you stay one step ahead. First, let's talk about the concept of dual personalities, a cornerstone of understanding manipulation. Williams introduces the idea that people often present a public face that masks their true intentions. This duality is Breystein, always malicious. Sometimes it just a social mask we all wear to navigate different situations. But in the hands of a skilled manipulator, this duality becomes a weapon. Manipulators craft personas that seem trustworthy, charming, or even vulnerable to gain your trust. Think of the colleague who is overly friendly, but always seems to get you to do their work. Or the friend who showers you with compliments only when they need a favor. These are examples of what Williams calls persona manipulation, where someone uses a carefully curated image to influence your behavior. What makes this so powerful is how it preys on our natural desire to trust others. Williams explains that manipulators exploit this by mirroring your values or emotions, creating a false sense of connection. For instance, a manipulator might share a sob story that tugs at your heartstrings, making you feel obligated to help them. The book emphasizes that recognizing this tactic is the first step to protecting yourself. Pay attention to inconsistencies in someone's behavior. Do their actions match their words? Are they overly eager to establish rapport? Williams suggests keeping a mental checklist of red flags, like excessive flattery or sudden shifts in demeanor, to spot when someone's persona might be a facade. This idea of duality ties into the broader theme of emotional vulnerability, which runs throughout the book. Manipulators often target emotions like fear, guilt, or the desire for approval because these are powerful motivators. Williams shares a story of a woman who was manipulated by a partner who used guilt to control her decisions, making her feel responsible for his happiness. Over time, she lost her sense of self, a common outcome of prolonged manipulation. The book's advice here is clear. Trust your instincts. If you feel uneasy or pressured in a relationship, that's your mind signaling a potential problem. By staying attuned to your emotions and questioning the motives behind others' actions, you can start to break free from these subtle traps. Moving into the second major area, Williams dives into the psychology of criminal behavior, drawing parallels between the tactics of criminals and everyday manipulators. This section is particularly eye-opening because it shows how manipulation isn't just a personal issue. It is a strategy rooted in the same principles used by con artists, scammers, and even cult leaders. Williams references shows like Criminal Minds to illustrate how criminal profilers analyze behavior to predict and prevent harm. Similarly, understanding the psychology behind manipulation can help you anticipate and avoid it. One key concept here is the snowball effect, where small manipulative acts build over time, creating a cycle of control. For example, a manipulator might start with a minor request, like borrowing a small amount of money, to test your compliance. If you agree, they escalate, asking for more until you're entangled in their web. Williams explains that this tactic works because it exploits our tendency to be consistent. If you'd be said yes once, you're more likely to keep saying yes to avoid seeming inconsistent. Criminals use this to groom victims, but so do less obvious manipulators, like a boss who gradually piles on unreasonable tasks while framing them as team efforts. To counter this, Williams advocates for setting firm boundaries early on. If someone's requests make you uncomfortable, say no without over-explaining. Manipulators thrive on ambiguity, so clarity is your defense. He also introduces the idea of fear-based manipulation, where manipulators use your anxieties to control you. A classic example is a scammer who claims your bank account is at risk unless you act immediately. By creating urgency, they bypass your rational thinking. The book S Practical Tip is to pause and verify, whether it is checking a suspicious email or questioning a too-good-to-be-true offer. Giving yourself time to think can dismantle these tactics. This leads us to the third area: financial manipulation. Money is a prime target for manipulators because it is tied to our sense of security and independence. Williams explores how individuals and institutions use psychological tactics to influence financial decisions, from high-pressure sales pitches to Ponzi schemes. One striking example is the scarcity tactic, where a manipulator creates a false sense of limited availability to rush you into a decision. Think of those limited time offers that push you to buy something you don't need. Williams explains that this works because scarcity triggers fear of missing out, clouding your judgment. The book also delves into how manipulators exploit trust in financial contexts. For instance, a financial advisor might use jargon to confuse you, making you feel dependent on their expertise. Over time, this can lead to decisions that benefit them more than you. Williams' advice is to educate yourself on basic financial principles and question anyone who pressures you to act without full understanding. He emphasizes the importance of skepticism, not paranoia, but a healthy dose of curiosity about others' motives. By asking questions and seeking second opinions, you can protect your financial autonomy. Interestingly, Williams connects financial manipulation to broader social dynamics, like the pressure to conform to societal expectations around wealth. Manipulators often prey on insecurities about status, pushing you to overspend to keep up. The book encourages self-reflection to identify your true values. What do you actually care about? And are your financial choices aligned with that? This mindset shift can make you less vulnerable to external pressures, whether from a pushy salesperson or a culture that equates money with worth. The fourth area, marketing, is where dark psychology really shines in showing how manipulation permeates everyday life. Marketing is built on understanding human behavior, and Williams breaks down how brands use psychological triggers to influence your choices. One tactic is social proof, where companies highlight how many people are buying a product to make you feel it as the right choice. Ever notice those bestseller labels or customer testimonials plastered everywhere? That's social proof at work, tapping into our herd mentality. Another marketing strategy is anchoring, where a high initial price makes a discounted one seem like a steal, even if the product's value doesn't justify it. Williams shares an example of a clothing store that marks up prices before a sale, tricking customers into thinking they're saving money. These tactics aren't inherently evil. Businesses need to sell, but they can cross into manipulation when they exploit your emotions or obscure the truth. The book's takeaway is to approach marketing with a critical eye. Compare prices, read reviews from independent sources, and ask yourself if you're rebuying because you need the item or because the ad made you feel you had to have it. Williams also touches on how marketing manipulates identity. Brands often sell a lifestyle, not just a product, making you feel that buying their item will make you cooler, happier, or more successful. This is especially potent in the age of social media, where influencers amplify these messages. The defense? Ground your self-worth in internal values, not external validation. By focusing on what truly matters to you, you can resist the pull of manipulative advertising. Finally, the fifth area focuses on practical defenses against manipulation, tying together the book's insights into a roadmap for mental resilience. Williams emphasizes that knowledge is power. Understanding how manipulators operate is half the battle. But awareness alone isn't enough. You need actionable strategies. One key defense is emotional regulation. Manipulators thrive on emotional reactions, so staying calm and composed can disrupt their tactics. If someone's trying to guilt trip you, for example, take a deep breath and respond neutrally instead of reacting impulsively. Another strategy is to develop assertiveness. Williams shares techniques for saying no confidently, like using I statements to express your needs without escalating conflict. For instance, instead of saying, "You're being unreasonable," try, "I'm not comfortable with that request." This shifts the focus to your boundaries without giving the manipulator ammunition to twist the conversation. The book also encourages building a support network, trusted friends or family who can offer perspective if you suspect you were being manipulated. One of the most empowering ideas in this section is the concept of mental firewalls. Just as you protect your computer from viruses, you can protect your mind by filtering out manipulative influences. This might mean limiting exposure to toxic people, questioning persuasive messages, or practicing mindfulness to stay grounded. Williams shares his own story of overcoming manipulation by learning to trust his instincts and seek out authentic relationships, a process that transformed his life. Throughout the book, Williams balances caution with optimism. He acknowledges that dark psychology is a reality. People will try to manipulate you in personal relationships, work, finances, and even through the ads you see every day. But he also believes that with the right tools, you can not only defend yourself, but thrive in a world full of competing influences. The key is to stay curious, self-aware, and proactive. By understanding the tactics of manipulation, from the duality of personality to the tricks of marketing, you can reclaim your agency and make choices that align with your true desires. As we wrap up, let's reflect on why this matters. In today's world, where information overload and social pressures are constant, the ability to spot and resist manipulation is more important than ever. Whether it's a friend who's subtly controlling, a scam that's too good to be true, or an ad that's playing on your insecurities, dark psychology equips you with the knowledge to navigate these challenges. Williams, his message is clear. You don't have to be a pawn in someone else. SS Game. By cultivating awareness, setting boundaries, and trusting your instincts, you can protect your mind and live with greater confidence and clarity. If you found this exploration of dark psychology helpful, consider picking up the book for a deeper dive. It's a quick read packed with practical advice, perfect for anyone looking to understand human behavior and strengthen their mental defenses. Let us know in the comments what you think about dark psychology. Have you ever encountered a manipulative tactic? And how did you handle it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more videos on psychology, self-improvement, and living your best life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.